नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वैभव पुरी गोस्वामी नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति सिद्धान्त सरस्वती नामिने। अजानुलम्बित भुजौ कनकावदातौ संकीर्तनैकपितरो कमलायताक्षौ विश्वम्भरो द्विजवरो जुगधर्मपालो वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरो करुणावतारो। हेलोधुलितखेदया विशदया प्रन्मीलदामोदया सम्यक्शास्त्रविवादया रसदया चित्तार्पितोन्मादया सस्वद्भक्तिविनोदया समदया माधुर्यमर्यादया श्रीचैतन्यदया निधे तव दया भूयादमन्दोदया। तस्यापार रससार विलासमूर्तेः रानन्दकन्द परमाद्भुत सौख्यलक्ष्म्याः ब्रह्मादिदुर्गमगति वृषभानुजायः कैङ्कर्यमेव मम जन्मनि जन्मनि स्यात्। हा देवी काकुभरगद्गदयाद्य वाचा याचे निपत्य भुवि दण्डवत उद्भटार्तिः। अस्य प्रसादमबुधस्य जनस्य कृत्वा गन्धर्विके निजगणे गणनां विधेहि। तवैवास्मि न जीवामि त्वया विना इति विज्ञाय राधे त्वं नय मां शरणान्तिकम्। राधे वृन्दावनाधीशे करुणामृतवाहिनी कृपया तव पादाब्जे दास्यं मह्यं प्रदीयताम्। हे देव हे दयित हे भुवनैकबन्धो हे कृष्ण हे चपल हे करुणैकसिन्धो हे नाथ हे रमण हे नयनाभिराम। हा हा कदानुभवितासि पदं दृशो मे। नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। भक्त्या विहीना अपराधलक्ष्यै क्षिप्ताश्च कामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि त्वां शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नुमस्ते चरणारविन्दम्। यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातराजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। तमादिदेवं करुणानिधानं तमालवर्णं सुहितावतारम् अपार संसार समुद्रसेतुं भजामहे भागवत स्वरूपम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्रीजीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो भक्ति विनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्ति स्वरूपाय रूपानुगवराय ते। First of all, I offer my innumerable sastang dandavas unto the lotus feet of my Guru Pada Padma, Nityala Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Ashtotra Sata Sri Śrīmād Bhakti Vaibhava Puri Goswami Mahārāj, and pray his causeless mercy. Then I offer my innumerable sastang dandavas unto the lotus feet of His Divine Grace Nityala Pravishta Om Vishnupad Ashtotra Sata Sri Śrīmād Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Goswami Mahārāj, and pray his causeless mercy. Then I offer my innumerable sastang dandavas unto the lotus feet of His Divine Grace Nityala Pravishta Om Vishnupad Ashtotra Sata Sri Śrīmād A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Mahārāja Srila Prabhupada, and pray his causeless mercy. Then I offer my innumerable sastang dandavas unto the lotus feet of all Guru Vargas, Guru Parampara, and pray their causeless mercy. Then I offer my innumerable Sashtang Dandavas unto the lotus feet of His Holiness Siddhanta Swami, Bhakti Vedanta Bhagavad Mahārāj, then to all present Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, ladies and gentlemen, and pray the causeless mercy. Yesterday, we were discussing the glories of Jiva Goswami and Radha-tattva. Today also one auspicious day, which is appearance of Bhakti Thakur. Continuously 2-3 days now, good, more auspicious. But I was listening in morning time, Tirthapada Prabhu and others speak also. And now Maharaj was speaking something. So, we need to discuss or no?
No.
Little. Little bit. Okay.
Just little.
So I will give only brief essence. Bhakti Thakur. Bhakti Thakur is most important for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, especially Saraswata Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Bhakti Thakur is prominent Acharya after 6 Goswamis. Because after disappearance of 6 Goswamis, there was big problem in devotional path of Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Unless Bhakti Thakur would come to this material world, then we would not have sat here to listen this Harikatha. We are listening Harikatha or Radha-tattva here in New Braj. The root cause of this Harikatha is Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Bol Sachidananda Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. So he predicted and he fulfilled Mahaprabhu's desire. Mahaprabhu predicted Prithvite Achejata Nagaradi Grama Sarvatra Prachara Haive Marana. So it was fulfilled by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur gave so many jewels and gems to this material world, but prominent was 2. He compiled more than 100 scriptures in different languages. So all scriptures are very beneficial and very important for us. Unless we study Bhakti Vinod Thakur's scriptures, then we cannot know how to do bhajan. How to do bhajan, he compiled Bhajana Rahasya. What is the secrets of bhajan? So, like this, all of you know, he compiled so many scriptures, more than 100. But 2 most valuable gifts Bhakti Vinod Thakur gave us. One is, he discovered Mahaprabhu's appearance place. That's why we are going to Navadvip Dham to do Navadvip Parikrama and getting so many Vaishnavas taking shelter at the lotus feet of Acharyas and Gurus. If Bhakti Vinod Thakur would not discover this, for us it was impossible. And second was, he gave to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada, which Bhakti Vinod Thakur could not complete, he completed. So, he taught him and he ordered him. I am not going to his all pastimes from childhood, etc. I am giving only highlights, which are most important. So, about his childhood pastime, etc., all of you know and listen at morning time. I mean. So, when he was studying, he was also very efficient scholar. Before becoming famous Vaishnava, when he was in Calcutta, he was also very learned scholar. He was going to give lectures in universities of the Calcutta at that time. So all were attracted by his lectures. So after that he went to Orissa. In Orissa his forefathers were there. Nearby Katak there is one village. I went to visit. There his forefathers they were in Orissa before. So after Calcutta he went to Orissa. When he went to Orissa, Orissa government being attracted by his knowledge and by his efficiency, Orissa government engaged him in the administrative service. He was magistrate of Orissa, especially in Puri. So when he was doing the service of magistrate, all inhabitants of Puri, they became very satisfied by his administration. So every citizen of Puri, he was appreciating, and all were supporting to Bhaktivinoda Thakur to appoint as magistrate in Puri to the government. So he was so efficient magistrate, then Odisha government was satisfied. And after that, Odisha government gave the responsibility of Jagannath temple's administration to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. You see, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is only one glance example which is ideal to follow Maharaj. We are saying, when Gurudev is saying or Vaishnava is saying or Acharyas or scripture, they are saying that you should do bhajan. Then we are trying to cheat. We are saying what? Oh Gurudev, I have no time. Or Vaishnavas, I have no time. No, it is only cheating. We are cheating ourselves. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said one example, how it is possible even in householder life. He was a householder. We have no children or we have few children. Still we are unable to do bhajan. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur had many children. And he was also in high post, in which he had very big responsibility, by which he had no time. But still he was doing bhajan perfectly. He was not sleeping long time. He was waking up 12 o'clock morning, 12 a.m. till 4 a.m. He was doing bhajan, writing everything so that there will be no disturbance. And daytime he was going to the court to do the service as a magistrate. And in that daytime again he was going to Jagannath temple to look after Jagannath's service. So before Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Jagannath Mandir or Jagannath temple's administration was very defective. It was not in proper way. Because Bhaktivinoda Thakur went to administer the Jagannath temple, so he introduced the Gaudiya philosophy there. And he established the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Till now there is Chaitanya Padapit. And at the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was giving lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam every day. So all Orissa inhabitants, especially Puri inhabitants, they were going to Jagannath temple and listening very beautiful and attractive lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam from Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So at the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was praying, and to Bimala Devi and to Srimad Bhagavatam, he was praying to give such a personality who can assist him to fulfill the desires of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to him. So being pleased by Bhaktivinoda Thakur's devotion and his extraordinary service and qualities, Lord Jagannath and Bimala Devi and Mahaprabhu gave very beautiful gem, who is called Bimala Prasad. बोल विमला प्रसाद प्रभु की जय। जय नितला प्रविष्टोम विष्णुवा जगत गुरुशला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय। So Jagannath, Bimala Devi, Mahaprabhu gave Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Then he instructed to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada to preach. But in Puri, when Bhaktivinoda Thakur was ruling as a magistrate, there was a very big yogi who had got the perfection also. His name was, remember anyone?
Bishakishan.
Huh?
Bishakishan?
Yes. he was very powerful yogi, and he was trying to do rasa dance. So people were ignorant, and by his mystic power he was attractive, because yogis have Ashtadasha Siddhi. Mostly famous 8, but really there are 18 varieties of perfection. If one is able to get perfection in yoga, he can have 18 siddhis. So among them one can attract everyone. Prakam. Whatever he wants, he can do. He can attract, he can hypnotize to the public. So he was doing this. So when he was doing that, I am Krishna, and I came to do rasa dance again. So I am Krishna. So ignorant people, they were attracted. And young girls also, being attracted by his yoga, mystic power, they were also agreed to do rasa dance. When this message was spread in whole Puri, then the husbands of those ladies who were going to dance, they complained and made case in the court. So government sent to Bhaktivinoda Thakur to see what is the matter. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur came, and he chastised to that yogi, why you are doing this? It is improper. But he did not agree to listen Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And he said, you cannot do anything to me. Do you know who am I? I am Krishna. So he said, so you cannot stop me. If you stop, I can suspend you. Not only you, your government cannot do anything to me. And that time British government, they were ruling. So I can kick out the British people from out of India, and I will administer, because I am Krishna. So like this, there was very big discussion and oral fighting between Bhaktivinoda Thakur and that yogi. I am not going in detail, because if we enter there, it may take 1 hour maybe. So,
nobody talked about that pastime. If you can elaborate, that would be good.
we will, other than because Radha-tattva will be in less time. Okay. So some hints, okay. Then that discussion I am not going to speak. At last, when he did not listen, then he went. He said, I am giving you 10 days only. Within 10 days, you should change your opinion and stop this. Then I will not do anything. Otherwise, I am going to arrest you. Then that yogi said, you cannot do anything to me. Try to arrest me, you cannot do. But after 10 days, again Bhaktivinoda Thakur came. And he saw that that yogi is not changing. I am giving today also one more chance. Try to stop this. Because I know that you are not Krishna. You cannot cheat to me. You may cheat too. Sorry?
He said, you are Jagannath. Therefore, you should come to Puri, Sangha, since you are. So he said, who is this Jagannath? He's made from wood. I am living Jagannath.
Yes.
So then Bhaktivinoda Thakur was infuriated with his offensive attitude, and he arrested him.
So when he did not listen, not only this, many argument was going on. Because within 10 days, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he could not able to arrest. At last he came and he spoke. Today is last chance. So you try to stop. But he did not listen. At last he arrested and put in the jail. And tomorrow will be your hearing. After that, in hearing also, he was not ready to listen. At last, he finalized to give the punishment to that yogi for 6 months. That is also with labor in the jail. And within these 6 months, he was died in the jail. But what did happen? That day, which day he arrested, that day Bhaktivinoda Thakur has some stomach problem. But although some stomach problem, but it was not lasting long. Why? Because any prarabdha or any ghost or witches, any material people's influence cannot be affected to any ideal Vaishnava who is really doing bhajan regularly under guidance of Guru, Vaishnava, Krishna and Scripture. Then no ghost, no witches, no one can affect. But nowadays I am looking, many devotees are very fearful for so many ghosts, witches and mystic power, etc. It means, and they are using so many different things. Someone said, if you use this, you will have no problem. Then he is using. If someone other saying, no, if you use this, you will have no effect to your body. Like this, we are taking shelter of so many help. But it is the weakness of our bhajan. Means we have no strong faith on Krishna. If you have strong faith on Krishna, no need of anything. So, we are looking, many devotees, they are using so many things which material people they are using. But we have no faith on Krishna name. We have no faith on Guru and Vaishnava. This is the proof. If some suffering coming, let it come. If Krishna wants, this object cannot stop you. This is only this is appropriate for material people, but improper for Vaishnava especially. Means we have no faith. Even because we don't study the scriptures clearly under guidance of Acharyas and Goswamis and our Guru Vargas, that's why we have no strong faith on them. But if we understand them, we will have no problem at all. Even our Vishnu Chakra Thakur said, Prarabdha cannot affect Vaishnava.
Oh.
Prarabdha karma. We are very fearful to Prarabdha karma. But Prarabdha has no effect to Vaishnavas also. You study Bhakti Svarūp commentary of Vishnu Chakra Thakur. He clearly spoke. Then we may ask, then why Vaishnavas are feeling sickness, etc.? So feeling sickness, it does not mean only Prarabdha. And many devotees, even recently, in LA also some devotee was asking, why elevated devotees are feeling sickness? So when devotees are suffering from any disease or doing the pastime of sickness, it does not mean that all are Prarabdha. And it does not mean that it is not Prarabdha also. We have to understand. It may be Prarabdha, sometimes it may not be Prarabdha. It depends upon what kind of Vaishnava he is. You cannot apply all to everyone. If one is really under guidance of Guru and Vaishnavas in Anugatya, he is practicing bhajan, then Prarabdha karma will have no effect to him. But if we are devotee only in dress, but internally no any etiquette of Vaishnava and no bhajan, etc., that is different. Then you cannot stop the Prarabdha. But if you are practicing real bhajan, Prarabdha karma has no influence to Vaishnava. Vishnu Chakra Thakur, when he was speaking, then Purvapaksha put question. Purvapaksha understood?
Chatupushpanjali.
Sorry?
Chatupushpanjali.
Purvapaksha. If you study Nyaya philosophy and Vaisheshika philosophy, Vedanta philosophy, then you will find there is Purvapaksha and Parapaksha. Unless you study 6 darshanas, then you cannot understand this. Because 6 darshanas are full of questions and answers. Especially Vedanta and Nyaya. Nyaya is most questions and answers because Nyaya is called logic, based on logic. So, those who are Nyayikas, Nyayika means the learned scholar of Nyaya. So, logician. So, they will sure ask questions because they are fond of logic. So, in this Nyaya philosophy, Vedanta philosophy, Vaisheshika philosophy, you will find 2 parties. One is Purvapaksha, second is Uttarapaksha. Purvapaksha will put questions. Why this? Then Uttarapaksha will refute that question and give the answer. And that answer will be proved. And that will be Siddhanta. So now here, when Vishnu Chakra Thakur was putting, giving the Siddhanta, that Vaishnavas cannot be affected by Prarabdha karma. Then Purvapaksha immediately put question, why? Because there are so many Vaishnavas are suffering, I am looking, and you are telling that Vaishnavas have no Prarabdha karma. If Vaishnavas have no Prarabdha karma, why they are suffering? Then to refute this, Purvapaksha, Vishwanath Chakravarti put in his commentary that Vaishnavas are, although looking suffering, that is not their prarabdha karma. That is coming by the desire of Krishna. Krishna knowingly sending a suffering or a problem or any calamity, etc., by which externally he is looking like suffering. For what purpose? When Krishna is looking, a Vaishnava is becoming very arrogant. Yes. So arrogant is not ornament of a Vaishnava. Vaishnava's ornament is meek and humbleness. So Danya eva bhushanam. Our acharyas they said Danya eva bhushanam. Danya means humbleness is the ornament of a Vaishnava. Krishna loves this. Krishna likes this. When Krishna sees that any devotee becoming puffed up or arrogant, then he does not like this. Because Krishna, if accepted to any devotee, he cannot reject him. Impossible. That's why Krishna will not easily accept anyone. But after accepting, he will not reject easily. If any devotee committing some offense or some any mistake, he will give punishment and rectify, but will not give up. He will try to do his improvement. So, when Krishna is looking any Vaishnava becoming very arrogant, then he is sending some problem, so that by that problem automatically he will be humble and what is
Improved.
humble, and he will give up the arrogance.
Subdued, yeah.
Because in that problem he will have lot of experience. If this is not, if one Vaishnava is not arrogant, then also Krishna sending. What is this reason, you know? If one is becoming arrogant, then problem is normal. It is very understandable. But if a Vaishnava is not arrogant, he is perfect. That's why when we are looking this kind of Vaishnava, we are very confused. How he is Vaishnava? He is suffering a lot, etc. like this. So we are being confused. But we should not be confused. But it is not applicable for everyone. Only for qualified Vaishnava. It does not mean that no Vaishnava has prarabdha. No. At the initial stage, if bhajan is not powerful, then it can affect the prarabdha. Because prarabdha is so powerful. To destroy this, to burn this, you need the powerful bhajan. Why? Because atha bhajan kriya tata anartha nivritti syat. If no bhajan kriya, then how anartha will be destroyed? So one who does not do bhajan, his prarabdha no one can stop. Even jnanis, they are doing so many austerity, penance, but prarabdha karma is impossible to destroy. So Rupa Goswami, what he said in Krishna Namastakam? Remember? Jabrahma sakhyat kriti nishtayapi vinasam ayati vinana bhogai apaiti nama sprana tatte prarabdha karmeti virauti veda. This is proof. And Rupa Goswami, we are Rupanugas. So whatever Rupa Goswami said, we should follow this. Because Rupa Goswami is not ordinary person. He is eternal associate, Nitya Siddha person. So what he spoke, we should follow. It does not matter what others are saying.
What he spoke.
Sorry?
What he spoke in English.
Jabrahma sakhyat kriti nishtayapi vinasa mayati vinana bhogai. Jab Brahma sakhyat nishtaya api krita. Nishtha with sincerity according to the process of knowledge which is practiced by jnanis, impersonalists. According to their process, according to their scripture, if he is sincerely practicing, not only practicing, by practicing he attained the Brahma Sakshatkar, which is their goal. So after attainment of goal of Brahma Sakshatkar, prarabdha karma cannot be destroyed. Bina na bhogai. Without enjoying the fruit of prarabdha karma, they cannot be liberated. They are bound to enjoy. Kintu means but. Apaiti nama spuranana. Oh, my dear Harinam, one who will utter your name by the tongue, then his prarabdha karma will be destroyed. This is the glory of Harinam and devotion. But by in other process, it is impossible. Lord Brahma also said in Brahma Samhita, Jaspindra Gopa Matavendra Maho Swakarma. I'm not reciting whole verse. Just to Indra Gopa. Indra Gopa means one insect. And beginning from one insect Indra Gopa, the real Indra, the king of demigods, all are bound to enjoy the fruits of their own karma. No one is free. And there is no one who can stop this prarabdha. Then by which process? Prarabdha karma or all our problems which we are suffering, all will be destroyed? Only by Kintu karmani nirdahati. Karmani means our all karmas, prarabdha karmas, nirdahati, nisesana dahati. Nisesana means completely. Dahati means burning. Who? Bhakti bhajam. Who is practicing devotion. And who does not practice devotion, there is no other way by which prarabdha karma will be destroyed. Impossible. What to speak to others? Even Jnanis, after attainment of Brahman liberation, by sincere practice, they are unable. What to speak others? So prarabdha karma cannot be destroyed without devotion. So that devotion also, which devotion? If we practice pure devotion, then only it is possible to destroy. Otherwise, if contaminated devotion, it may not destroy completely. We have to suffer some quantity. But if our pure devotion starts, then we should be very careful also. Because I am presenting the presentation of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, so we should not misunderstand that, oh, we can do whatever according to our desire and we will have no prarabdha. No, it is not. When he said we should know this, after explanation of Anyam Vilasita Sunyam, then he wrote this commentary. Anyam Vilasita Sunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavrutam Anukulyena Krishnanusilanam Bhakti Rutamam. One who is practicing this devotion, for him there is no prarabdha. If prarabdha karma is coming, looking like prarabdha, it is by Krishna's desire. Then why? What is the reason?
Show the example.
Huh?
To show an example.
Sorry?
To show an example how a pure Vaishnava will deal with prarabdha karma.
Yes. And one more appropriate answer also. He said to increase the relishment of a devotional mellow. Because if he will, in the problem condition, he will more and more pray. And by more and more pray, he will release more and more. So, then to give the relishment of a transcendental mellows more and more, Krishna is giving this. Because when a devotee is pure, Krishna wants to release this. So he wants to release this, so giving more and more. And this problem is not giving problem to that devotee. Externally we are thinking, oh, he is suffering a lot. But really he is not suffering. Vasudeva Vipra, glance example. Vasudeva Vipra. When Mahaprabhu was going to South India. In South India, Vasudeva Vipra was suffering very severe leprosy. And germs, they were going from the wounds of the leprosy to the ground. And if you see, we cannot touch. Because it is looking so fearful. If we see only that kind of leprosy, our hairs will stand. Yes. Because we cannot tolerate that. If we see any wound in any body of any person, then we are feeling different. What to speak if we see the leprosy, whose pulse is always coming out from the wound. And so many germs were going out of the wound to the ground. Then Vasudeva Vipra was saying,
Worms.
worm.
Not germs.
No, worm.
Worms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Worm. So,
Maggots.
Vasudeva Vipra was saying, oh, you are fool. Why? Because you are going to the ground. Your food is here. Your food is here, you are going, then you will have no food, you will die. So he was putting that worm and putting again on the wound. How merciful. Jive Daya. You see. So, and he had no problem at all. Then in this condition Mahaprabhu came. Because when Mahaprabhu was going through that way, he crossed to Vasudeva Vipra, he did not come. But Vasudeva Vipra could have gone to meet Mahaprabhu, he did not go. Because he was in Mana. Oh, Mahaprabhu went this way, he gave so many mercy to many devotees, but he did not come to me to give his blessing. Okay, let him go, but I will not go. So he did Mana. And Mahaprabhu was omniscient, so he came to know. Then he, being attracted by his love and affection and devotion, Mahaprabhu again returned to give darshan to Vasudeva Vipra. And when he came, Mahaprabhu embraced to Vasudeva Vipra. But Mahaprabhu, when he was going to embrace, he was not agree. Vasudeva Vipra, no, you will be contaminated, you should not touch to my body. Then Mahaprabhu said, if there is one person to whom I will embrace, you are only qualified. So Mahaprabhu was not looking to the external condition of the Vasudeva Vipra's body. He was looking the internal love. So he embraced it. When Mahaprabhu embraced it, Vasudeva Vipra became very beautiful. All wounds, all leprosy was cured. Then Vasudeva Vipra was not happy. He was not happy. If we would be happy. Vasudeva Vipra was not happy. So then Mahaprabhu asked, are you happy now? Then he said, no, I am not happy. Then Mahaprabhu asked, why? Because now I cannot do bhajan. Before I was doing your bhajan, but now I cannot do bhajan. And now I will become arrogant. And many people will have attraction towards me. So by this, I will waste my time. Many people will come to meet. Before I was suffering from leprosy, so nobody was coming to touch me. Oh, all were going from long distance. So it was very good for me to chant your names 24 hours a day. Now you gave me beautiful body, and by this I will be attracted towards body also, and people will be attracted. So I cannot do your bhajan properly. Then Mahaprabhu said, no, it will not happen to you. I am blessing. So like this Mahaprabhu blessed. The purpose of speaking is that how externally looking suffering, but devotees they are not feeling that I am suffering. Because they are not in the conception of body. They are always merging in the soul. And the super soul, Ling and Krishna. But we are in physical conception of life, that's why we are attracted. And we are feeling so many problems. But those who are elevated devotees, who are practicing pure devotion, for them prarabdha has no effect. Only this is coming by the desire of Krishna to give the releasement of transcendental mellows more and more, which Vasudeva Vipra was releasing. When Mahaprabhu cured, he was not happy. But Mahaprabhu again blessed, no, in this body also you will have no problem. Then at last he was ready to accept it. So, come to the point of Pandavas. When Krishna came and wanted to give some boon to Kunti, then Kunti did not ask anything of this matter. What was her asking? Vipada santuna sasvat tatra tatra jagat guru bhavato darshanam jasyat apunar bhava darshanam vipada santuna sasvat. I want always only problems. Yes. Then Krishna said, oh auntie, I think you are crazy.
Bambambuli.
Huh?
Bambambuli.
You are crazy. Why? Because till now, no devotee asked me problems. I have many devotees who asked me to destroy the problems. Oh Krishna, please protect me, please protect me. I have so many problems, please protect me. So I am destroying the problems, and many devotees have many desires. So they are asking. But you are such a person who is asking only problems. Why you are asking problems? Because from childhood till now you have problems. And till now you are not satisfied with problems. You are desiring again and again. Then Kunti said, no, I want only problems. Then Krishna asked, why? Because if problem, I am happy. If no problem, I am not happy. Then Krishna asked, why? Then Kunti said, do you want to know this? Then Krishna said, yes. Then Kunti giving the reply. Because as long as we were in problems, you were always coming to help us. I faced so many problems with all my sons. And whenever problem was there, I was praying, my sons were praying, and you were coming. All Jai Pujapad Bhakti Bhagavad Mahārāj ki Padmanaಭ Mahārāj ki
Jai. Bhagavad Darshan.
Jai Pujapad Bhakti Padmanaಭ Mahārāj ki
Jai Ho. Swagatam.
Swagatam Mahārāj.
I have to sit on a chair.
Yes, you can sit. Yeah.
Well, because of me.
I'm happy that you came.
I'm happy to come.
Then Kunti said, why I am asking problem? The reason is, whenever I had problem with my sons and we were praying to you, you were always coming here and protecting, and we were happy. That problem was not affecting to us. And now Mahabharata fighting finished and my son became king. And when my son became king, all citizens are very happy. Why? Because my son is such a personality, Yudhishthir, all citizens are appreciating to his administration. So in my kingdom, everyone is happy. There is no scarcity of anything and full of opulence. All demigods are happy because my son is son of religion, dharma. So everything is perfect here, but I am not happy. Maybe whole Hastinapur citizens, they are happy, but I am not feeling happy. Why? Because when problem was there, you were here. But now when my son become king, everything is perfect now. Now you are telling me, oh my dear auntie, let me go to Dwarka. So I don't, this kind of opulence or happiness which will separate me to you. So I want that problem which will unite me with you. That's why I want problem, because whenever problem you are coming here, you are staying. Now problem finished, opulence came, kingdom came, you are trying to go to Hastinapur. So I don't want this. So devotees, they want problem. Externally we are looking suffering, but internally devotees are not suffering. I gave the example of Vasudeva Vipra and Kunti also. That's why Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said in his commentary that we should not always criticize the Vaishnavas if a Vaishnava is suffering due to his prarabdha only. No. It depends upon the Vaishnava, which category Vaishnava he is. If he is a Kanishta Adhikari and bhajan is not perfect, it is his prarabdha. But for elevated devotees, we should not think it is always prarabdha. No. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur clearly spoke, Vaishnava will have no prarabdha. Prarabdha karma will have no effect to that Vaishnava. Why? Because a properly situated in devotional path of pure devotion. Because this commentary Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was writing after Anyamvilasta Sunyam verse. So he wrote. So at the beginning of Anyamvilasta Sunyam verse, already pure devotion started. So one sincerely practicing pure devotion, for him no prarabdha. If suffering, if you are looking, that is why Krishna desire. But when we are unable to follow strictly that verse of Anyamvilasta Sunyam, then result will be different. But if we are able to practice strictly, then prarabdha karma destroy automatically.
Or you were saying that Krishna sends this suffering to those who might have a little bit of pride. But we were talking about Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and he's completely free from pride. So why is Krishna sending this apparent suffering, the stomach ache, to Bhaktivinoda Thakur?
But it did not affect to him.
But why is Krishna sending to him? Because he's
Yes.
beyond this.
Yes. Why Krishna sent? Because to show the public that a mystic power, yogi's mystic power cannot affect him also. Because yogi applied this mystic power to kill him. To kill him. But his mystic power did not work. For example, Lord Shiva drank all the poison of the whole milk ocean. Halahal poison. And he drank. But it could not affect to Lord Shiva. But still, one effect is there. What is that effect? It became blue. Became blue. So by becoming blue, it did not affect to the Lord Shiva. Even it glorified to Shiva. Why? Because before Lord Shiva had one name lacking. One name was, nickname was less. But after drinking the poison, his one name increased. So he became Nilakantha Mahadev. Wo Nilakantha Mahadev ki. So Prarabdha karma cannot affect to Vaishnava. But it is, when it is coming, it is giving the ideality to others and giving teaching to the public, to the society. So all the citizens of Jagannath Puri, they were able to understand how powerful Bhakti Thakur was. To whom a very powerful mystic yogi could not do anything. And after that, Jagannath Puri's inhabitants were more attracted and affectionate towards Bhakti Thakur. To show this, Krishna sent him. How powerful Bhakti Thakur, how glorious Bhakti Thakur, to present his glories, to spread his glories, Krishna sent him. But it could not affect to Bhakti Thakur to die. In spite of killing to Bhakti Thakur, he was died in the jail. Yes. So Vishwanath Thakur clearly spoke that if Prarabdha karma is not coming to any elevated Vaishnavas, only it is coming by Krishna's desire. That's why our Guru Vargas, when they are feeling some sickness, we should not think this is a effect of Prarabdha karma. It is their pastimes. And how? I will give one proof also by practical example, that if elevated devotees, Mahabhagavata Acharyas or Vaishnava sadhus, they will not perform the sickness pastime, then we cannot have any opportunity to do service. Then without service, we cannot get perfection. We cannot attain blessings. Why? Because Bhakti Reva, Bhaktya, Bhajadatu Sevayam. Without service, no bhakti. You see, Brajavasis, 24 hours they are doing service of Krishna only. So, one who does not do service, his devotion is imperfect. Service is life of devotion. If no service, then it will become karma or jnana, etc. So, service is necessary for devotion. And bhakti is coming by the dhatu, verbal root, which is called bhaj dhatu. And meaning of bhaj dhatu is sevayam, means service. If no service, no real devotion is there. And you see, glance example is Brajavasis. Brajavasis, they don't do anything else, doing only service. So, Krishna knowingly sending to elevated devotees some disease, so that the followers or all human beings, they will have opportunity to do the service of elevated Vaishnavas or Acharyas, by which they will be benefited and they will be qualified to attain the blessings. But we should not think, oh, this is Prarabdha. No. Prarabdha will have no influence to them. Only for neophyte devotees whose bhajan is not so powerful, to them Prarabdha will affect. For not all Vaishnavas who are very elevated. So like this, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was doing so many pastimes. Then after Jagannath Puri, when he was retired, then he again went to Navadvip Dham. He took Vanaprastha now, after retirement. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave the example of 4 ashramas simultaneously. He was maintaining celibacy and he became brahmachari, then became grihastha, then vanaprastha, and he gave the example of sannyas order also. Although he did not take the saffron color sannyas, but he was the ornament of all sannyasis. Which sannyasi was unable to practice, he was practicing more than sannyasi. That's why he was not less than sannyasi, he was paramahansa. So he set the example of 4 ashramas. How, in which ashram one may be, how bhajan is possible, he taught. From childhood till brahmacharya. What is the duty of a brahmachari, he also taught. In brahmacharya stage also he practiced. In grihastha stage also he was practicing. In vanaprastha stage also he was practicing. In paramahansa stage also he was practicing. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is one ideal glance and present example for us to follow. For all kinds of devotees. Whether he is a brahmachari, whether he is a grihastha, whether he is a vanaprastha or a sannyas. So all 4 ashramas, brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha and sannyas, all should follow Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur is our ideal example. Why? Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in his prayer, in many places, he disclosed his identity. That how he is desiring Radha-dasyam. In his song also, Lalita Dasira Ajogya Kinkari. Ajogya Kinkari means Mandari. What is meaning of Kinkari? I was explaining in Hawaii last year.
What to do?
Huh?
What to do?
Servant.
Servant.
Maid
So,
servant.
maid servant. So remember all of you? So last year in Hawaii I was speaking. What is the meaning of Kinkari? Kinkari means Kim Karoti.
Kim karomi.
Kim karomi iti pruchati jasa kinkari. Kim karomi iti sarvada pruchati jasa kinkari. Means what I will do. Who is always eager to do the service and asking to the mistress or master. She is kinkari. Means manjari. So manjaris are always ready to do the service of Radha Krishna under guidance of Lalita Sakhi. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, Lalita Sakhira Ajogya Kinkari. Without Lalita Sakhi's guidance, no one will be qualified to attend Radha Krishna service. Without approval of Lalita Sakhi, we will have no qualification to attend Radha Krishna service. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is one of the most important manjari of Lalita Sakhi, who was very obedient to Lalita Sakhi. So in his prayer, he disclosed his identity, that he was the maid servant of Lalita Sakhi, who is very dear to Radharani. So many Sahajiyas, Babajis, they say that, oh, Gaudiya Vaishnava, they don't know Radharasya, they don't know Manjari Bhava. They know more. They don't know Bhaktivinoda Thakur clearly. They don't understand Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. So they are saying this. But Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur also exhibited his identity in many places. How he is also dearmost maid servant of Radharani. In many of his lectures, in many of his writings, he also exhibited that he is the very dearmost maid servant of Radharani. You study, yesterday I was speaking, in 1931, Gaudiya magazine you study, 1931, September 11 or September 2, 11. September 11 he was giving one lecture on Radha-tattva.New Day. In that Radha-tattva.New Day, he recited one verse, what is our goal? He said, what is our goal? Radha pada dasyam eva hrida dharayan. This is clearly Radha dasya. But these so-called Babajis, Sahajiya, they say, oh, Bhakti does not know Manjari Bhava. We know only, so we can give everyone Manjari. This is foolishness and ignorance. Because they don't understand Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Prabhupada properly. They need to understand him. So, because they did not study his scriptures, they don't know about him. That's why they are speaking. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada is also always 24 hours a day, he was merging in Radha-dasya. This is the proof. He said, Radha pada dasya meva hruda dharayan. Eva, he said, only I want Radha-dasya. Then how we can say that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he does not know Madhurya? This is foolishness and only jealousy. They cannot tolerate his glories. That's why they are saying it. Because I have studied his many scriptures, mostly in his lectures also coming Radha-dasya. You study Upadesamrita Anubhasya? Upadesamrita Anubhasya? He clearly spoke, what is our goal? So, in many of his articles, many of his lectures, it is clearly disclosed by him that he wants Radha-dasya. And Radha-dasya is our goal. So, he spoke. Now we will give rest to Bhaktivinoda Thakur's glory. Now we will enter to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, then towards Radharani. So, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said that if after attainment of this human form of life, one could not know Radharani, his life is valueless. You see, every of his lecture, he is indicating with his secret to worship Radharani. But we don't understand him. Many of us also, we don't understand him. Not only Babaji. Even in our Gaudiya Vaishnavas, in our Sampradaya also, many of us, we don't know him properly. Where is the proof? The proof is we are being attracted towards Babajis and others and giving up the Guru and changing the color of the dress. Many of our Gaudiya Sannyasi, they are becoming Babaji now. This is their weakness. Only you change the sannyasi cloth and take the white, you will become Manjari. Where is the proof? You show me? Impossible. Only by changing dress, no one can become Gopi or Manjari. Using any cloth also, if your internal mood, heart is clear in the mood of Radharani's service, you will become Manjari. Wherever you may stay, it does not matter. You study Prabhupada Saraswati Prabhupada, Vishwam Purna Sukhayate, Kaivalyam Narakayate, Tridasapur Akasa Puspayate, Durdantendriya, Kala Sarpa Patali, Prakhata Danstrayate, Vishwam Purna Sukhayate, Vidhi Mahendradisya Kitayate, Jat Karunya Katakya Vayotam, Tam Gaurameva Stuma. Vishwam Purna Sukhayate. Whole world he will feel happiness, wherever he goes. In any corner of the world, he may stay, he will become Manjari, if he has this realization. But if one has not this kind of realization, if he sits on Radha Kunda, he will go to hell. Possible, if he is remembering any sinful activities. So only sitting or only changing dress, it does not mean that one will become Manjari. Otherwise it will become very easy to become Manjari. To become Manjari is not easy. Koti janma sukrutapi na labhyate. Krishna bhakti rasa bhavitamati kriyatam. Jadi kutopi labhyate. Tatra laulyam eva mulyam ekalam. Janma koti sukrutapi na labhyate. By crores lifetime sukruti it cannot be attained. And only by changing dress within few days or few hours it will be possible. How it is possible? Impossible. This is only just a show and practice of Sahajism. So, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, when he was present, he could not tolerate this. Because at that time, in Sadhu society, this was going on in the name of Sadhu. So he wanted to stop this. And that's why the Sahajiya Babaji became envious to him. Because he did not let to contaminate the Vaishnavas in the dress only. So he wanted to separate pure Vaishnavas and to improve Vaishnavas. So, really, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada is ideal and dear master's maidservant of Radharani. There are so many proofs of him in his prayers also. And on Radhashtami Day he was giving this lecture also. He said, Radha pada dasya meva. Eva means only, nothing else. Radha dasya meva Hrida means inside the heart, dharayan. So we should, what is our goal? To put inside heart? No any money, no name, no lava, puja, pratishta, or any person of this material world, or any object of this material world. We should keep only one object inside the heart, that is Radharani's lotus feet service. Means Radha-dasya. Means Manjari, to become the Manjari. Who is under guidance of Rupa Manjari and under guidance of Lalita Sakhi. This is our goal. He spoke in his lectures also. And he spoke after getting this valuable human form of life, which is explained in scripture, Deva Dullava Manavatanu. This is the adjective for this body. What is the adjective of this body? Deva Dullava Manavatanu. Deva means demigods. For demigods, this body is very, very rare to attain. Which Tanu? Manava. This human form of life is very, very valuable. And what is the goal of this life? This goal of this life is Radha-dasyam. And in this human form of life, one who could not know to Radharani, his life is valueless. He clearly spoke. And many of his lectures and instructions, he spoke, Ei janme te hi bhagavat prapti karte hobe. Means we should not waste our time. In this life we should become perfect. We should not delay or we should not wait for next life. So he was stressing more for bhajan. So he spoke also, Radharani is our goal to do her service. And he spoke, whole world is worshipping to Krishna. Whole world is very attracted towards Krishna. But Krishna is attracted to one such a personality, she is Radharani. Bol Bhuswanandini Srimati Radharani ki See, whole world trying to get Krishna, but Krishna trying to get Radharani. And one who could not know Radharani, then his life is valueless. So he could not utilize. Sorry. Huh? Yes. Radharani is Krishna's sarvasva. Sarva means all. Swa means wealth. Means Krishna is everything of Radharani and Radharani also everything of Krishna. So Govinda sarvasva Radha. Govinda sarvasva Radha. Means all, everything of Radharani is Govinda. And Govinda, everything of Radharani is Govinda. And everything of Govinda is Radharani. Both are. Because without Radharani, Krishna does not want to anyone. And without Krishna, Radharani does not want anyone. So when both are present, then only it is quite blissful. And when Krishna is Radha Sange Jada Bhati, Tada Madana Mohan. Means when Krishna is with Radharani, then only he is completely beautiful, which is called Madana Mohan. If no Radharani, Swayam Madana Mohita, then Krishna is being influenced by Cupid. If no Radharani is there, he is no more Madana Mohan. We are saying Krishna is Madana Mohan, but Kaviraj Goswami denied. We are saying Madana Mohan. But Kaviraj Goswami said in Govinda Lila Amrita that Radha Sange Jadavati Tada Madana Mohana. Krishna is Madana Mohana at that time only when he is with Radharani. But when no Radharani is there, then Swayam Madana Mohita. He is under influence of Cupid. So Radharani is necessary to Krishna, Krishna is necessary to Radharani. So both if they are present, then it is perfect. Rupa Goswami also concluded. Rupa Goswami. We are Rupa Nuvas. Rupa Goswami also, many of his scriptures, he concluded. Both.
You're just saying that from this shlok that Krishna is under the influence of Cupid. I don't understand how Krishna can be under the influence of Cupid. If Mahadev with one eye can burn Cupid like this, how can Krishna be under the influence of Cupid if millions of Cupids faint upon seeing Krishna? Gandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha
Yes.
Shobham.
You are thinking about that material Cupid. But Krishna is under influence of the transcendental Cupid.
Who is that?
Who is that? The desire to meet with Radharani.
Okay.
The desire to meet with Radharani, that is transcendental Cupid. Because when Krishna is alone, he is under influence Cupid means desire coming to meet with Radharani. But when he is with Radharani, then Radharani already here, so looking very blissful. Then Madan Mohan, he can attract to everyone that time. So he is no more being attracted by anyone. So Kaviraj Goswami's purpose is, otherwise this material Cupid, how he can attract to Krishna? Nothing. Already Krishna defeated to material Cupid. Material Cupid is unable to stand in front of Shiva what to speak about Krishna. Only transcendental Cupid. And that Cupid also not anything, only desire to meet with Radharani and to do some pastimes. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, what he said? He said, we should know who is Radharani. And Radharani cannot be known by everyone. We cannot know Radharani by ourselves. Impossible. Only by mercy of Radharani or Krishna we can know to Radharani. Why? Because it is secret, rahasyam. When Brahma got Chatushloki Bhagavad from Lord Vishnu or Narayan, then he spoke, Jnanam paramam guhyam me, jadvigyana samanvitam, sarahasyam tadangam ja, grihana gaditam maya. Jnanam, what is jnana? Huh? Knowledge only. What is that knowledge? Śrīdhara Swami said, Vedokta Shastrokta Jnanam Jnanam. What is spoken in Shastra, that is only knowledge. Means only knowledge, theoretical knowledge. But what is Vijnana? Anubhava Sahitam. Anubhava Sahitam. Means Bhagavad Anubhava Sahitam. We studied something in the scripture and we have brain, we memorize it. Then it is only knowledge. Jnana. But when it will become Vijnana? When we have some realization. When we don't realize, then it is no more Vijnana. Bhagavad Anubhava. That's why in Bhagavatam said, Bhakti Paresanubhava Viraktir Anyatat Saisatrika Eka Kala Prapadya Manasa Jathasandasyu Tushti Pushti Kyoda Payonu Ghasam. Bhakti Paresanubhava. Paresa Anubhava means realization of Lord. Whatever we are practicing in devotion, we should have some realization. If we have no realization, we will not last long in devotion. That's why we are looking, so many devotees are at the beginning coming and taking initiation, although bona fide gurus also, but after a few years they are leaving this devotional path, no more chanting, no more association, and again Punarmusika Bhava. Again. Why? This is the proof of lack of Vijnana. Only Jnana will not last long. Unless we attain Vijnana, we cannot survive in devotional for a long time. So Vijnana is necessary. Vijnana means Bhagavat Anubhava. If we don't realize by our practice, then we cannot last long. At any moment we can commit offense and give up the devotional path. That's why many devotees they are doing this due to carelessness. Because they don't care for offenses and committing offense, and by offense within one moment we can lose everything. All our feeling, realization will disappear from the heart. We will have no taste at all, and heart become very stone-hearted. Then we will not feel any mellows in this line, and we will again try to go to material world. Again Punarmusika Bhava, to suffer in the material world by sense gratification. So Vijnana is most important. And Lord Narayan saying to Brahma, oh my dear devotee Brahma, I am going to give you Jnana. That is not only Jnana, not only theoretical knowledge. Vijnana, Jat Vijnana Samanvitam. Vijnana means with my realization, by which you will have no problem at all. Samanvitam. Samyakena Anvitam. Anvitam means Jukta, together. And Samyak means with, in proper condition. Means with proper realization of myself, I will give my knowledge. So this is called Vijnana Samanvitam. Then third one, Rahasyam. What is Rahasya? Rahasya means here Prema Bhakti. Prema Bhakti. And Tad Anga. Anga. Tadangam cha. Anga means here Sadhana Bhakti. So these four was given by Narayan to Brahma. So in this Rahasya, it is only spoken, even our Vishnu Chakra Thakur, in the commentary, he spoke only Prema Bhakti. Even Śrīdhara Swami also spoke Bhakti only. No commentator discovered that what is real Rahasya, including Vishnu Chakra Thakur. You study Vishnu Chakra's commentary. He spoke only Rahasya means only Prema Bhakti. He did not write anything more. Huh? But he did not mention Radha. Yes. Huh? That's why. That is secret. But that secret was disclosed by Bhakti Svarūp Śrīdhara. By Vishnu Chakra Thakur commentary also we could not get what is Rahasya. Rahasya means he only opened it till Prema Bhakti. More than that, Vishnu Chakra Thakur also did not open. What to speak others? Śrīdhara Swami also only spoke Bhakti. Vishnu Chakra Thakur even added something Prema Bhakti. And Anga is Sadhana Bhakti. But our Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, on the occasion of Radha-tattva day in 1931, September 11, he disclosed what is Rahasya. Rahasya means here Radharani. Why? Because Radharani's philosophy is very secret, not easy. Jiva Goswami said, Maha Saubhagyana eva sambhavati. Maha Saubhagyana eva sambhavati. Only by very big, great fortune of many lifetimes and by the blessings of very elevated Vaishnavas, it is only possible. Otherwise, it is not easy to know Radharani. So here Rahasya means not only Prema Bhakti. In that Prema Bhakti, the root cause of Prema Bhakti is Radharani. Because Prema Bhakti is Svarūpa Shakti's Vritti. And Svarūpa Shakti's origin is Radharani. So here Rahasya means Radharani. And Rahasya means secret. And it is very secret. That's why Bhakti Saraswati Prabhupada said, many readers, they are reading and studying Srimad Bhagavatam. And they are saying, there is no name of Radharani in Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? Because they are unable to find out Radharani's name. But really, Radharani's name is in all verses. All verses, Radharani's name is there, but in secret form. How? In India there is one leaf, green leaf. Here you have or not, I don't know.
Mehendi.
Huh? Mehendi.
Henna.
Huh?
Henna.
Yeah, hey.
Henna is imported from
No,
India.
no.
Mehendi.
Mehendi.
Mehendi, I'm not saying.
Yeah.
Henna, yeah. We call it henna here.
Henna.
Henna.
Okay.
Mehendi. Same.
There is one leaf which is called henna. If you see henna, it is green. The leaf is green. You cannot see the reddish color. But if you rub it, your hands, palms will become red. So it was looking green. Externally you cannot see the reddish color. But reddish color is inside. You need to rub. As more and more you rub, your hand will become more and more reddish. Similarly, externally, Bhagavatam looking, there is no Radharani's name. But if you are expert how to rub this Bhagavatam, then you can find Radharani everywhere. Like in every corner or every point of that henny leaf is reddish color. But you need to rub carefully. Then you will get everywhere the reddish color. Similarly, every verse of the Bhagavatam contains Radharani's name. But we have no capacity to understand this. Really, if we surrender to Srimad Bhagavatam and really Bhagavatam appears, then you will see Radharani is everywhere. Why? Because we are now looking at Srimad Bhagavatam as a book. We have no respect to Srimad Bhagavatam like Krishna. So we are not feeling. When we will really spontaneously feeling will come to Srimad Bhagavatam as a Krishna himself, then we will see Radharani with him. But we are looking only books or pages or verses, so we are not looking Krishna. We are unable to see Krishna. How to we will see Radharani? This is our disqualification. We are not qualified. Why? Because we are not surrendered to Bhagavatam that he is Krishna himself. In Skanda Purana also said, Srimad Bhagavatasya cha Sri Bhagavatah. Means there is no difference between Bhagavata and Bhagavan, Krishna. Aikyam. They are one. But we are not feeling like that. So when we will feel Bhagavatam is Krishna himself, everywhere we will see Radharani's name. But externally also Radharani's name is there. But we are unable to understand. It is clearly spoken, Anaya Radhita Nunam Bhagavan Haririspara Janno Vihaya Govinda Pritajam Anayat Raha. So this symptom is only coming to Radharani in this verse. So here you read the commentaries of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Śrīdhara Swami and all others. Iti Radha Nama Uktam. In this verse Radharani's name is spoken. But we don't read any commentary, we don't follow any Acharya, we are not under guidance of Vaishnavas, and due to our foolishness we are saying there is no name of Radharani. So many Bhagavad speakers, they are speaking Bhagavad, they are saying there is no Radharani's name. This is their ignorance. You don't know how to find out Radharani. Like ignorant about that henny leaf, he does not know how to rub and he does not know how to get the reddish color. But one who is expert how to rub, he knows how reddish color will come. Similarly, who are really the learned scholar of Srimad Bhagavatam, they know where is Radharani's name. They see everywhere Radharani's name. Why? Without Radharani, Bhagavad has no existence. Like before I said, without Radharani, Krishna will not exist. Without Krishna, Radharani will not exist. All together they are. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad means Sriya Saha Jukta Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam. Sriya means Radhaya. Saha Juktam Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri means Radharani. So Radharani is everywhere. How Radharani is not in Bhagavatam?
Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yes, Srimad Bhagavatam. And we are saying that there is no Radharani. This is our foolishness. Because that's why our Acharyas they said, Jaho Bhagavata Pada Vaishnava Rastane, Ekanta Ashraya Kara Chaitanya Charani. Where should we learn Srimad Bhagavatam? Where should we study Srimad Bhagavatam? We should study Srimad Bhagavatam under guidance of a Vaishnava. If we don't study Srimad Bhagavatam under guidance of Vaishnava, we cannot know. That's why there is a saying, Bhagavata Padhikar Hai Sarvanas. Understood this? Bhagavata Padhikar Hai Sarvanas.
Hoi
Hai Sarvanas.
Sarvanash.
This is very important to know because it is in scripture also. Bhagavata Padhikar Hai Sarvanas means if anyone will study Srimad Bhagavatam, he will be ruined. He will be ruined completely.
Cannot go back.
Yes. Means he will be destroyed completely. If he study Bhagavatam, then it is looking contradictory. Because it is said in Padma Puran, Slokardham Slokopadam va Srimad Bhagavatodbhavam Pathasva Swamukhe Naiva Jaditchasi Paragmatim. If anyone is desiring highest goal or highest transcendental bliss or highest absolute truth, then he should study Srimad Bhagavatam every day. Then one asked, how many verses? How many chapters? Then the reply, you can complete Srimad Bhagavatam. 18,000 if possible. Then he said, how it is possible? 18,000 verses, how it is possible? Every day. Okay, if you are unable to study, you can study one chapter, one canto every day. Then also, he said, one canto I have no time. One canto I cannot study whole day. Because I have to do many things. Then the reply was, you can study one chapter every day. Then he said, I can think this about this. Then he thought, difficult to recite one chapter also.
Then the reply was, you can recite some verses. Then also he said, I cannot recite some verses also. Then he replied, you can recite one verse a day. Then also okay for you. Then he said, huh?
Maybe some days I can do, but some
Yes.
days I cannot.
So one verse also I cannot recite every day. Someday I may forget, or someday I may be busy, so I cannot recite every day one verse. Then the reply was, if you have no time or you are unable to maintain one verse recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, then you can recite Slokardham. You can recite half of the verse. Because one verse contains some bigger verses are 4.
Right.
And Anushtup Sandha 2 verses. Anushtup Sandha. So you can recite only one line. Then becoming Ardha Sloka. Means half of the verse. Then also that person said, no, I am so busy. This is mentioned in Padma Purana. If you want to see, you can see the verse. In Padma Purana it is said, I cannot recite even half of the verse. Then also Padma Purana says, you don't worry, still you have hope. You don't lose the hope. Then he said, Sloko Padamba. Then you should recite 1/4 of the one verse, which is in Anushtup Sandha, 2 lines only. So 1/4 of the verse you can recite. It is possible? Then he said, it may be also not possible. Then Padma Purana said, then you should die. Because if after getting this valuable human form of life, if you have no time to recite 1/4 of verse, then why you are in the human form? You should die. Because you are not qualified to stay in this form. So if we recite 1/4 of the verse also, then also Paramgati, we can get highest perfection. Why? Because this is Srimad Bhagavatam. And Jiva Goswami said, I am going to explain later on. Jiva Goswami in Krama Sandarbha he said, how significant Srimad Bhagavatam is. So here Rahasyam, Bhakti Saraswati Prabhupada said, Rahasyam why? Because here Rahasyam means not only Prem Bhakti. Rahasyam means Radharani. Huh?
You were going to tell that one cannot study Bhagavatam.
Oh, so that did not complete. Yes. So one should study Srimad Bhagavatam under guidance of Vaishnavas only. But if one is studying and 1/4 of the verse also can give highest perfection. But if one is studying more and more and 12 cantos also, but how it is possible to be destroyed and completely ruined? It is looking contradicted to Padma Purana and other scriptures. Because everywhere of the scripture, almost in many scriptures, we are looking the glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam. That if we study Srimad Bhagavatam, if we listen Srimad Bhagavatam, if we speak Srimad Bhagavatam, then we will be qualified to attain Krishna Prem. But here it is looking like contradictory. Because one who will study Srimad Bhagavatam, he will be ruined. Sarvanas. Sarva means all. He will lose everything and he will be completely destroyed or ruined. How it is possible? Tell me.
Sansari grihir jego pai sarvanash.
Huh? Huh?
Bandhu sange jarida varanga parihas.
Yes, if that will happen, it is good. But that is not. It is complete ruined. If bandhu and or family and house, it is going destroyed, no problem. But if one is surviving in devotional path, but he will lose everything.
This is Bengali.
Huh?
This is
Bengali.
Bengali
Bengali.
slok.
Bengali.
Which shastra?
Bengali, maybe in Gaudiya Kanthara. Yeah. Gaudiya Kanthara or some place I will tell you again. So what is meaning of Sarvanas here? How?
Everything is ruined.
Huh? Because it is looking contradicted.
Krishna is like the sun. And we need to take shelter of the water, which is the Mahabhagavat. But without taking shelter of the Mahabhagavat, only going to Krishna, we will be burned. Everything will be ruined if not under the guidance of Vaishnava.
Yes, that in one sense correct, but it is not completely ruined. Because when one is getting Krishna, there are different gradations of devotion, so no big problem. But what is meaning of here Sarvanas by studying Srimad Bhagavatam also? The real meaning is, if we study Srimad Bhagavatam without guidance of our acharyas and Goswamis and commentaries, then we cannot understand Srimad Bhagavatam, then we will be misguided. And we may become karmi, jnani, yogi or so-called non-devotee. That's why so many Mayavadis. So that's why you see in India you will find so many Bhagavata speakers. But after recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, what is their conclusion? They are worshipping Ganesh. They are worshipping Durga. And they are worshipping impersonal Brahma. Eating meat and non-veg and doing illicit activities, everything. Then this is the result of understanding Srimad Bhagavatam? This is the result of studying Srimad Bhagavatam? No. Prabhupada spoke this at the end. It means they are unqualified to know what is Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is secret. For them this is rahasyam. So it cannot be understood by everyone. So here rahasya means not only prem bhakti. Here rahasya means Radharani. So Radharani is everywhere, but we cannot know by our material intelligence, by our endeavor. How we can know? Only by mercy. Only by kripa. So if we pray for mercy of Radharani, Krishna, Guru and Vaishnavas, by their mercy only it is possible. When Chatushlok was given by Lord Narayan to Brahma, then what he spoke? Gruhanu, Madanugrahata. Means by my anugrah, by my blessing you receive this. So by my blessing you will have no problem. So Brahma received this by blessings of Narayan, this rahasya. So he knows. But if we don't follow our footprints of Guru Vargas, Acharyas, Goswamis, and don't pray for the mercy, then we cannot understand. That's why many people they don't know who is Radharani. Although they are reciting the bhajan, they are studying about Radharani, but they are not able to understand how Radharani is really. They are thinking as an ordinary girl who is daughter of Vrishabhan Maharaj in Vrindavan or Varsana. But they don't know who is really Radharani. Unless we study scriptures of Rupa Goswami, Vishwanath Chakra Thakur, Jiva Goswami and our Goswamis and Acharyas, we cannot know who is Radharani really.
That is Tadanga.
Huh?
We must engage in sadhana bhakti.
Yes, that is sadhana bhakti.
Yeah, that is to come under the guidance.
Yes, that is Tadanga. So to know the rahasya, we need to follow Tadanga. If no Tadanga, then no rahasya. Rahasya will not mean secret will not manifest. So for this we need practice devotion under guidance of Guru and Vaishnavas and pray for the mercy. By their mercy we can be able to know. So how this rahasya was disclosed, which was till now in hidden condition. Radharani's name was in Srimad Bhagavatam. It was disclosed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the first personality who opened the rahasya from Srimad Bhagavatam, that there is Radharani. Where is the proof? The proof is Chaitanya Chandramritam. Prema nama dhutartha sravana pathagata kasya namnam mahimna ko veta vrindavana vipina madhuri ko veta vrindavana vipina maha madhurishu pravesa ko va janati radham parama rasat samatkar madhurya simam ekah Chaitanya Chandra parama karunaya sarvam avishchata. Ekah, only one, no second. Who was able to know Radharani? No one. Prior to Mahaprabhu, no one able to know Radharani. Eka Chaitanya Chandra. Eka means only one, no second one. So now we are able to listen about Radharani by whose blessing? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, no one was able to know who is Radharani. So, Parama Karunaya. Here is the proof that how we can know Radharani. By Karuna, by the blessing, by the compassion of Mahaprabhu and his associates. It is possible. By our own endeavor, we cannot understand. And who brought Radharani's name and Radharani's glories, name, form, qualities? First Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then by his associates and by his followers, our Guru Vargas, till now, they presented in front of us. So, Prabhupada Saraswati said, Ko va janati Radham? Who was able to know Radharani? And who is that Radharani? Parama rasa chamatkara madhurya simam. Ko va janati Radham? Parama rasa chamatkara madhurya simam. Parama rasa means the highest transcendental mellow, the highest relishment of transcendental mellow is Radharani. There is nothing which can be relished after Radharani's relishment, which is called Madanakhya Mahabhava. Madanakhya Mahabhava is only in Radharani, even not in Krishna. That's why he could not release in Dwapar Yuga. Yesterday we were discussing long time. Krishna tried to his best 125 years in Dwapar Yuga. He could not know. Why? Because it is not the wealth of Krishna. It is wealth of Radharani. Madanakhya Mahabhava is only in Radharani. So, Kova Janati Radham, Paramarasa Chamatkar, Madhurya Simam. Paramarasa means highest rasa. That is Madanakhya Mahabhava. And that is Chamatkar.
Astonishing.
Huh?
Astonishing.
Astonishing. And Madhurya Simam. Madhurya means the sweetness. Sima means ending.
The limit.
Huh?
Topmost limit.
The limit.
Sima,
The last
limit. Limit. The last limit.
Last limit.
So if someone asking, oh, what is then that? Yesterday I was asking, when Mahaprabhu asked, if there is something more, then what was Ramanuja's reply? There is no one in this material world who can ask more than this. It means impossible. Only you can ask. No one can ask. Means Radharani is the highest relisher of transcendental mellow. So, by whose gift we got this? Only by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's gift. So, before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, no one was able to know about Radharani. So, Mahaprabhu brought. Bhakti Svarūp Prabhupada also in Radha-tattva.New he said, by Mahaprabhu's blessing, we could able to know who is Radharani and how Radharani is present in Śrīmad Bhagavatam. Anaya Radhika Nunam, Bhagavan Hari Rispara. Janno Vihaya Govinda Pritajam Anayadraha. Our commentators, Jiva Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Baladev Vidya Goswami Prabhu, Vishwanath Chakra Thakur, they wrote Radha Nama Uktam. In this verse, here it is said that Radharani's name is spoken. So all these acharyas, they made commentary that Radharani is here and her name is indicated here. By whose mercy? By Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. Because all of them, they are follower of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's blessing only, we are able to listen even the name only, Radha, by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's blessing. Otherwise, it was impossible to know only. What to speak about, even to listen also. What to speak about knowing. Kova janati radham parama rasa chamatkar madhurya simam. So, by the blessings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are able to know about Radharani. What is time now?
7:20.
7:20.
Continue?
Yeah, continue. Yes,
Okay.
more Radharani.
Okay, now I will go on. Now be attention.
Okay.
One question.
No.
Before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there was Radha Krishna worship.
Worshipping.
And what was the condition?
The condition was ignorant condition. Ignorant condition.
Yeah.
Many people now also worshipping Radharani, but they don't know who is Radharani. Same condition? Same condition.
But not Parakiya Radha Krishna.
Huh? No
We're now
Parakya.
worshipping
No.
Parakiya.
Only Swakya.
Swakya Radha.
Swakya. Parakya appeared by Mahaprabhu.
Maharaj, what about Jayadev Goswami Gita Govinda? That was before Mahaprabhu.
Yes. Before Mahaprabhu.
So what about there? So much discussion of Radha and Krishna pastimes.
Yes. But that is how our Acharyas and Goswamis, after Mahaprabhu, they brought Radharani's philosophy. Jayadeva Goswami did not bring in that mood. That was in different mood. That is mostly based on Basanti Ras. And that is little different than Saradi Ras. And after Mahaprabhu, Radharani's all glories are presented in beautiful form for everyone. But Jayadeva Goswami presented that is not easily understandable. The secrets. It was presented but not clarified for everyone. No clear. How Mahaprabhu clarified, how Rupa Goswami clarified, how Vishwanath Chakravarti and others clarified, till our Guru Vargas, it was not clear. And by Jayadeva Goswami. It was in Sanskrit only, and it was in difficult language, Sanskrit, to understand. And that explanation was different. Not like how we are understanding to Radharani. Sorry? Yeah. Even the proof is, even Jayadeva Goswami was unable to understand. Because our no Goswami, if you say to Rupa Goswami or Raghunath Goswami, immediately they will write, Dehi Pada Pallav Mudaram. Rupa Goswami, if Rupa Goswami thinking or Raghunath Goswami thinking, Dehi Pada Pallav Mudaram coming, immediately they will write. Jayadeva Goswami could not write. This is the proof. This is the proof also. Because Krishna wrote this. This is the weakness of Gita Govinda. In Gita Govinda, this weakness was there that Jayadeva Goswami could not write this. But you ask Raghunath Goswami, immediately he will write. You ask Rupa Goswami, immediately he will write. Yes, we want Krishna should put Radharani's leg on head. Immediately they will write. But Jayadeva Goswami could not write. At last Krishna came and he wrote himself in the form of Jayadeva Goswami. So now we'll change the direction. Huh? Okay.
Come to the topic now.
Huh? Yeah.
Come to the topic.
Yeah, come to the
We're
topic.
on the topic.
So, our Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, okay, before going to this deeper topic little,
You said that 1/2 hour ago. Let him take
oh, then that I will speak tomorrow. Huh? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So what I am thinking, a little deeper we will go. Then our Acharyas, they explained how glorious Radharani is. Prabhupada Saraswati said, Jasya kadapi vasanan chalakhelo natha dhanyati dhanya pavanena kritarthamani jogindra durgamagati madhusudanopi tasya namastu vrishabhano bhuvo disvepi. Whole world, before I spoke, then Prabhupada said, whole world is attracted towards Krishna. And they are thinking, if I would attain Krishna, if I would see him, if I would attend his service, then my life will be successful. And I will be completely satisfied. But that Krishna, to whom whole world is inclined, attracted also. And they are trying to find out Krishna. But that Krishna is always trying to find out Radharani, where is Radharani, where is Radharani. Bol Goswami Srimati Radha Rani ki jai. Not only Radharani.
Jai. What are you talking?
Not only Radharani. Jasya kadapi vasananjala. Khelo natha. Vasananjala. Vasananjala means sari.
Some hem of the, or sorry.
Sari. When Radharani is using the sari, at that time, when a breeze is coming, when that breeze is touching to the Radharani's body and passing through the sari, then by the touch of Radharani's body, that breeze becoming very fragrancy, very sweet fragrancy. And when that fragrance is going and entering in the nostril of Krishna, then Krishna becoming very restless. Then Krishna is unable to control himself. So, Jasya kadapi vasanan chalakhelanotta dhanyati dhanya pavanena kritarthamani. Then that breeze becoming successful. He thinking my life became successful. Why? Tell me. Dhanyati dhanya, that pavana means breeze. He is thinking that my life became successful. How?
He's able to attract Krishna to come to Srimati Radhika.
Yes.
See, the breeze is success.
Yes,
He
that
arranged
breeze.
for the meeting of Radha and Krishna.
Yes, because he touched to Radharani. So, he already successful. And when he went and entered inside Krishna's nostril and he did the service and he gave the opportunity to think Krishna to Radharani. So he thought, now my life became successful. This is one meaning. This is one meaning. Second meaning also, Krishna thinking my life became successful. Krishna also thinking my life became successful. So it has two meanings. One meaning can be done that the breeze thought my life became successful. So dhanyati dhanya pavanena krutarthaman, dhanyati dhanya madhusudanena krutarthaman. Both will possible. So when that breeze entered inside the nostril of Krishna, then Krishna thought, oh, my life became successful. Where from this breeze coming? Krishna is smelling. Smelling, which side this breeze coming? Then he was able to, after contemplating, he was able to know in a particular direction that breeze was coming. Then, in which breeze that direction that breeze was coming, he was offering dandavat to that side. Tasya namastu means I am offering my humble obeisances to which Vrushabhanubhava Dise. Vrushabhanubhava means Vrushabhanandini Radharani means the daughter of Vrushabhanandini who is present in which direction I offer my humble obeisances to that direction. So that direction also becoming successful. So you see, in which direction Radharani is present, that direction also very fortunate. And we should pray, we should worship that direction. Then how we will worship this? At what time, in which direction Radharani is there, we should know this. How we will know? Tell me. At what time, at which place Radharani is staying? Which in whole year. Unless you know whole year, in which places Radharani is staying, then how will you meditate him? Meditate her. Unless you know now in which place Radharani is, then your meditation will not be perfect. Radharani is here, you will think there. Then that is not perfect Ashtakalya Lila thinking. Then you tell in which time, which day of the year Radharani is staying in which place. If you reply this, then only to the class, otherwise tomorrow.
Now Ghosh will speak.
Ghosh will
Cliffhanger.
Now you tell, at what place, which time Radharani is staying, and which direction, then how we can meditate her.
Maharaj, we have heard from our acharyas that wherever the servants of Radharani are speaking her glories, that is where she is present.
Yes, that is in philosophically okay, but practically, physically, very hard.
Practically, physically.
According to the time of day, according to the time of day, she's different
yes.
places.
Where?
Yes.
Ashtam Prahar.
So according to time and day, you have to know in which time, which place, which day she is staying.
But we only hear in Askalya
Indian
Leela
time
according to the time, not necessarily the time of year.
Yeah.
She's somewhere else.
Yes, but she is not staying every day everywhere.
He's saying she moves at different places.
Although
at
then
different parts of the
Australia
year.
remembrance is imperfect.
Yeah.
Yes, lacking in the perfection.
So how can we know where she is?
Yes, then you reply.
That is the question.
That's the question.
I
So
already replied philosophically. Now God.
No.
Maharaj, Radha Kund.
huh?
No.
Radha Kund
No,
is
no, no.
always there.
No, no,
He said noon.
Not
No,
always.
only noon.
no.
No, but philosophically.
Huh?
No, philosophy. Philosophy is no good anymore.
Cake.
Not going to work here.
Practical, physically.
Yeah,
She's
physically.
in Java except for
Java.
that time when she goes back to Varshana, that certain
That's
time
right.
of the year,
Yes.
Yeah, during Julan Yatra.
to visit her.
Yeah.
So you have to tell the whole calendar, whole year calendar of Radharani. Whole year's calendar of Radharani.
You have to follow the eyebrows.
Huh?
Radha
Maharaj will speak something now.
When Radharani, she moves her eyebrows to Krishna, then she indicating Sanket, this place, that place. You
Yes.
have to be connected.
Yes, that is for pastime in which place, but at which place or which day Radharani's residence is in which place.
The only way we can know is by following
Guru Kripa.
her maidservants. Tat anuragi jananugami.
That's for
Yeah.
Because all the time it's different. By the direction of the eyebrows, like this, sometimes it's this way, like you said, sometimes it's that way. Where her kinkaris are serving her, then we follow them, then we will know where she is. Otherwise, we
Okay,
can't know.
then we follow now kinkaris. Let ask kinkaris.
Hamare Guru Parampara.
Yes, ask now. Now ask her and ask them. Now Radharani is where, at which place?
Maharaj, is this the particular time when the breeze is coming? And
If
Krishna's
particular
not-
time we were unable to speak, at least you speak the day and the tithi. Tithi. Day. Which day Radharani in which place?
Always new. I change.
No, this is not change.
This doesn't
This is not
change.
change. This is fixed.
So she has a regular calendar. Did she follow?
Regular
this?
calendar.
Yes.
But they may
For
meet
meditation.
today they may meet here, tomorrow they may meet.
Place change, but the permanent residence.
Yeah, where
Residence.
she's staying.
Staying.
That's
For
what he's
example,
saying.
whole day she met with Krishna and gopis and mandiris, etc. After performance of pastime, she returning. What is that returning place?
So you want the direction
Yeah.
like east, west.
That's why I want direction. Otherwise,
Direction
where to you will
And the place. Direction
Because
and the
here,
place.
Prabhupada Saraswati is saying, Tasya. Now you should, because unless you understand this, then how you will offer? Because here Prabhupada Saraswati is saying, Tasya namastu brusavanu bhuvo disepi.
Is it eastern direction?
Sorry?
Eastern direction?
Eastern
But
direction.
in which place?
He wants to.
Vrishabhanu Bhuvo means the land of Vrishabhanupur, no? Bhu means land. It doesn't mean particularly Radharani, but the Vrishabhanu Mahārāj ka land. His land, that is the direction, no?
But here this
Isn't
is, yes. But that meaning is not here.
No.
There are three different varieties of meaning of every word. How many words in this material world? Every word can have three meanings. Every word. One is Abhida, second is Lakshana, third is Vyanjana.
Except for pronouns.
You are now saying at Vyanjana Vritti, but no Abhida Vritti. Understand? For example, Pankaja, you know Pankaja? Pankaja is here. What is meaning of Pankaja?
One is born from the mud.
Huh? Mud. But Pankaj means no more burning from mud. Pankaj is here also Pankaj, one Pankaj.
Yeah.
So,
In this case.
he is not Pankaj. Only he is human being. So, Pankaj means you cannot say only lotus flower. Pankaj means Pankaj Jayat Jasa Pankaj. What is burning, taking birth from clay or mud? Everyone means insects, what is in the pond, all are Pankaj.
That's true.
All according to the meaning of what is purport or explanation, every insect or any living entity inside the clay, they are Pankaj. But here Pankaj means not that. You should Pankaj means always lotus flower, Abhida Vritti. Direct meaning is lotus flower. But if you tell Pankaj means fish, Pankaj means insect, it is not common. So similarly, here Vrishabhanu Bhuva, according to your explanation, it may be, but here not this meaning.
She who was born in Vrishabhanu, of
Yeah,
Vrishabhanu Mahārāj.
yeah. It is not the land. Bhuva, it can be, but here not meaning. Like Pankaj means an insect from the clay, it can be. But in scripture it is not said Pankaj for that. Pankaj means lotus flower. Similarly, here Vrishabhanu Bhuva means not only Varsana, not that land. Vrishabhanu Bhuva means who is daughter of Vrishabhanu Mahārāj, means Radharani. So, in which direction, which place Radharani is there, I am offering my humble obeisance to that direction also. So, unless we know where Radharani is now present, which place, then how we will do offer? How we will meditate?
We can do to all directions.
Huh?
All directions.
Then,
You become Lord Brahma.
then if all direction, what will happen? No concentration.
No concentration.
No concentration.
No submission. No submission.
No attention.
Indian time or
Maharaj.
we can do to Srimad Bhagavatam because she's everywhere in Bhagavatam.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Yes.
No submission.
Indian time.
No submission.
Indian time or where we are that time or
No, at least if you time you are unable to know, then at least you say the place.
The place.
Place.
No. Do you do the Ashtakali Leela meditation based on where you are, like in America, or you based on Indian?
Wherever you may be. Now your good question, because when you ask it, then reminding me.
Yeah.
Those who are present in Vrindavan, they should particularly know all these places. Because if you are in Vrindavan, so you have to know in particular place where Radharani is staying at what time. It is mandatory. And those who are out of Vrindavan, if they remember only Vrindavan also, okay. If you remember only Vrindavan, then it is okay. But if inside Vrindavan, you have to know the particular place. So those who are staying inside Vrindavan, they should know at what time, what tithi, which day Radharani is staying in which place. But those who are outside Vrindavan, only towards Vrindavan if they offer, then it is also completed. Huh?
Yavat.
Yavat.
Which day?
Which day?
Nandagaon.
East of Yavat.
Which day?
Every day when she's cooking for Krishna.
Not every day, Nandagaon.
She's in Varshana and Radhastami.
Not every day, Nandagaon.
Time
She's
and
in
place where
Varshana
Radharani is.
during Radhastami,
Yes.
I think, and Julanyatra. And one other time.
I spoke last year.
You
Yeah,
spoke last
Julanyatra.
I
year.
spoke last year, but you
Maybe
forgot.
Katyani Vrat, but I can't remember. Some of the
I spoke last year.
Where?
Yes.
I spoke in Pushpadanta Prabhu's place, in Eugene.
In Eugene.
I remember where I
That,
spoke.
that she gets taken to Vrishabhanu Maharaj's residence, escorted by Sridham during the Julanyatra.
And Sridham came late.
And that's what. And so she is there at that time.
Yeah, that time, but rest of the year.
Yeah. Then the rest of the time, yeah.
Yavat.
What time of the day?
Ah.
No, it's not. He's not asking for the time
Time.
of day. He's the place where she's at. The
At
direction.
least you speak the place.
Yeah, just the
Kishori
place.
already said, Srimad Bhagavatam. She is
Yeah,
That's true.
yes.
That is
No, but he's
that also
physically-
okay.
Yeah.
But still, if we will in subtle meditation, it will be more.
She's
Jagannath
not
Babaji
in-
So
Maharaj.
is
Huh?
Yavat
She's not in
correct, Maharaj?
Javat every day?
Is Yavat
No.
correct, Maharaj?
In Javad, not every day.
If she leaves,
Hmm?
she does
Ajnior
leave
Maharaj?
with Sridham.
Huh?
Ajnior,
To go to see her in
We don't know.
Sanket.
Maharaj, we surrender. We
This time
surrender.
she's in
Surrender.
We surrender.
But at this time, Maharaj also Sanket.
Huh?
Sanket.
don't know.
Also, she goes at night at Sanket.
Sanket every day.
Every day at night.
Sanket for pastime places every day.
so many sankets, not one.
Yes. Every day they are doing all pastimes every day. Ashtakali. But from which place? Radharani not coming from one place everywhere, every day. So she's changing the places in different days. But coming to same places, but residence is different place.
How can she not come home?
Huh?
If she doesn't come home to Java, it'd be a big problem.
No.
Different parts of the year.
Different times of the
Yeah, different times,
times of the
Different times of the
different
year.
days.
Different places.
Different days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
No.
No, but
Maharaj, I think you're
What's
enjoying.
in Maharaj?
You're
Yeah.
enjoying
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
seeing us suffer so much,
Yeah.
struggling so hard.
Because Radharani also very anxious to listen. Yes.
You're getting our attention.
Huh? Sorry?
Cook for Krishna. in
Yes.
Nandagaon.
Yes, every day going cook to cook.
None.
Morning time going to cook. Noon is at Radha Kund.
Surya Puja,
Mm.
Nandagaon,
Yeah.
Radhakund, every day
Yeah.
during these leelas.
But not staying in Nandagaon every day.
The Bhujanante Piya
Not
Krishna
staying.
Savari.
I'm asking where she is staying in which day.
You mean overnight?
Huh?
Sleeping overnight.
Overnight.
on how it becomes more.
No, he said
Yeah.
that.
Every night.
But you have to do during the day. You should also make your
Huh?
pranam during the day also.
Yes.
In the
But
day.
We have to pray 24 hours a day.
Oh.
24 hours a day.
Prem Sarovar.
Divanisi.
Prem Pavan Sarovar. Prem Sarovar, Nandgaon ke paas jo Pavan Prem Sarovar.
Where? When?
At this time, Godhuli, she's always at the Prem Sarovar because Krishna comes from.
But that is every day.
Pavan Sarovar.
That is every day.
Yeah, but that's what Ashtkali Leela.
Saying
Right?
where she's
Where
at
she
home
is?
at
Right?
night.
Where?
Yeah, the
She goes
place
to
of
Jawad
residence.
every night.
No. Every day no
Okay,
Jawad.
she has
Oh.
one house in Prem Pavan Sarovar.
With Krishna.
One house in
Every night she's with Krishna.
Yes, she's with Krishna, but after returning from Krishna, where she goes?
Because she
She goes back to her house.
Huh? But which house?
Where is her
In
house?
Jawad.
No, not every day.
No, but she has 3 houses. At least one in Pavan Sarovar, one in Sanket, that is next to Prem Sarovar, and then another one is in Jawad, obviously. So
That
there
is
are
not for
3.
overnight.
Acha. But overnight, Pavan Sarovar is overnight, right? Across the.
To take rest where she is going. After Kunja. When Kakri and Brinda Devi waking up to Krishna and Radharani, where she is going? No.
No, afterwards.
That's already been said.
Who? Brinda Devi said? Who is Brinda Devi? Oh, Brinda Devi is saying the wrong. Brinda should know. Brinda should know this.
She's Brinda Devi.
Yes, because she is arranging.
Yes.
She is arranging all arrangement. So it is very important to know her.
Yeah.
Sometimes Koklavan also. Kamya was.
Okay.
Now,
Then remember, what is time now you tell?
7:42.
So after ending
We have until 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
We
but
can
you
go
have
till
until 8.
7:45 now.
100 minutes more, 15 minutes more.
15.
So now remember.
18 minutes.
Now remember on which day Radharani is staying in which place? Shravani Shukla Tritiya till Purnima. Radharani going to celebrate Jhulan festival at Barsana. Tritiya, from Tritiya to Purnima till Baladev Purnima. We are celebrating Jhulan Jatra. So Radharani going to Barsana. Tritiya, Chaturthi, Panchami, Shashti, Saptami, Ashtami, Navami, Dasami, Ekadashi, Dwadashi, Trayodasi, Chaturdashi, Purnima. Means 13 days. 13 days in Barsana. Then after that, in Bhadra month, Shukla Saptami, she is going to again Barsana to attend her birth ceremony, Radha-tattva.New, and staying from Saptami to Saptami, Ashtami, Navami, Dasami, 4 days in Barsana. Then again in Ashwin.
So today she is
Huh?
in
Huh?
Varsana.
Sorry?
Today she is in Varsana.
Sorry?
today she's in.
This
Today-
is
today-
4 days.
Today is Bhadra Shukla, and which today is
Right. Saturday, Sunday.
Trayodasi.
No, it's past.
Today
Past.
Dwadashi. Trayodasi today. Huh?
Ashtami,
Today is Trayodasi.
6 days.
Right.
Yeah, Trayodashi.
Trayodasi. Yes.
She's traveling back to
Dwadashi,
Java.
So
Thakur is saying it's Dwadashi.
already from Saptami, Ashtami, Navami, Dasami, already she
Gone.
returned. No Barsana now. Jabot.
You mean
So in Ashwin, she is going to again for Durga Puja to Varsana. From Dvitiya till Navami. Because you see now in whole Brajamandal all are engaged for Navanna Puja. So Radharani going to Varsana. Then in the month of Kartik, Jamaditya, she is going to Varsana again. Ditya, Tritiya, Chaturthi, 3 days. To take bath with the brother in the Jamuna.
Sridham,
So all Brajavasis, yes. So all Rakhi.
Rakshabandha.
So all Brajavasis, they are going to take bath with sisters and brother together in Jamuna. So Radharani also going to Varsana. In the month of Kartik, from Ditya till Ditya, Tritiya, Chaturthi, 3 days. After that, in the month of spring season, that is Magha, Shukla, Panchami, till Ashadha, almost this is July, Radha-tattva time, till Chaturthi for 5 months in Varsana again. 5 months. This is the highest. This is the highest days Radharani is staying in Varsana 5 months continuously. So we should not think that I always staying in Javata. No. 5 months continuously staying in Varsana.
Why?
Then,
The others are festivals. Why she stays 5 months at that time?
because she wants to stay in father's house. Like
Summertime.
daughters are very fond of to stay in father. Because in husband's house, very busy. Very busy, no rest. Their feeling is different. And in father's house, more independent. So, daughters are very fond of stay in father's house also. So,
every daughter doing that?
Sorry?
Every daughter is doing that in Braj?
Yes, yes. All.
They all do that.
Yes.
All go back now.
Yes. Till now, this is custom in India till now. So, now in Varsana, how long Radharani is staying in Varsana, we understood. Now come to another point, Nandagram. Nandagram. Radharani coming to Nandagram to attend Janmashtami festival. So, in the month of Shravani, Shukla, Saptami, she is coming and staying till Bhadra, Shukla, Saptami in Nandagram. So, yes, this time staying in Nandagram.
How many days?
Shukla, 1 month almost.
1 month.
1 month. 1 month only in Nandagram.
Now she stays at Pavan Sarovar?
Yes.
That,
In that Nandagram, that time, Pavan Sarovar, etc., she is staying.
But her birthday is coming before 1 month.
Yes.
After Janmashtami. But
That's
she
why
was in.
she is going for attending Varsana Saptami. Saptami. So before Saptami,
1 month.
1 month already passed. So after that Saptami she is returning to her birthday ceremony. So now Nandagram Varsana finished. And the rest of the days she is staying in Java. Other. Out of here, if you deduct this, then rest of the days she is staying in Java. And from these places, every day she is going to do so many pastimes in Ashtakaranya. So, the what is origin is these places. We should not think that every day coming from Varsana or from Java. So these are the permanent places for every day to go to different places.
Where did
So-
you find this?
Huh?
Where did you find this out?
In one scripture.
Which one?
Radha-tattva.New. Yeah. Yeah.
there is any calendar.
Huh?
There is a calendar
Yeah.
that we can keep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we must all have a calendar.
Yeah.
God needs calendar also.
Yeah.
So now here Prabhupada Svarūpa said, I am offering my humble obeisances to the direction of Radharani in which she is present now, and wherefrom the breeze is coming after touching to the body and the sari of the Radharani and entered in the nostril of Krishna, and after smelling to that fragrance, how Krishna is thinking that my life became successful and feeling very happy. So I am offering my humble obeisance to that direction where Radharani is present now. So by this, today's lecture will give rest here. Bol Vishwanandini Srimati Radha Rani ki jai. What?
So similar question that so what happens to Manjri? Where do they stay
We-
at that time? Where does all the Manjris and Sakhis who are like so all the desire of the Manjris is to go to Java, get married to Java. They want to take birth in Barsana, get married in Java. So when these time Radharani is going from one place to another, where do they
They
go?
go with
They are going to Varsana. Where Radharani going, they are going.
So how their husband and their family members are allowing
They have
Manjris to
an
go?
agreement with the others.
They have acha.
Yes.
because it's the cultural agreement.
It's the
They go
culture.
back
Culture,
to
culture.
the-
He said earlier, it's for
Yeah.
all, for
Yeah.
all Brajbasi.
If someone complaining, then jo Panvasi making some duplicate.
Okay.
So no problem. Yes. So now we stop. Vancha golotaram histupasin patitanam pavane vaismanju.
For those ones, they allow. Or they also need duplicate.
Sorry?
Some husbands, they need duplicate for the whole year. Or
No, I am telling Radha and Purnamasi, no making duplicate, making some arrangement. Speaking something, oh, if you don't send, then problem will come. Because they are respecting to Purnamasi. And she is senior. So whatever Purnamasi says, Brajavasi they follow.
but when there is Ras Leela or then also
On that time,
duplicate is there
duplicate.
over.
Because at that time they were sleeping. Because that time they were sleeping. So that time duplication was unnecessary. But in daytime, always no duplicate necessary. Only Purnamasi making some tricky and telling if you don't send, then big problem will come. So this day, this constellation and this day is very auspicious.
And then there is man.
Yeah, huh?
When man is there,
Man is there.
then also problem.
Then also. So that time Purnamasi making some arrangement. How all will favorable. बोल गोस्वानंदनी श्रीमती राधा रानी की
Jai Krishna Bhakti Svarūp Śrīdhara Mahārāj ki Jai. Bhakti Vedanta Padmanabha Mahārāj ki
Jai.
Bhakti Vedanta Bhagavad Mahārāj
की जय
Nanda Gopal ki
Jai Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga ki jai.
New